earlier this year, or maybe late last year. This is 2025. 57-year-old man went to a hospital in Dublin, presents himself at the emergency ward, because over the course of a week, his penis had become red, swollen, and super painful, like super painful. He also had a really bad fever. He was really not feeling good. 15 years earlier, he'd had a kidney transplant. So he's on immunosuppressants, which helps, obviously, with the rejection of the kidney. But it also opens doors for infections to get way worse than they might otherwise. They did some tests and initially went, look, he's got some kind of bacterial skin infection that, for reasons, had taken up residence in the groinular area. That's where they decided to hang. Gave him a whole bunch of antibiotics, as you'd expect, blah, blah, blah. But the old champ got worse. I mean, that part of him. It got more red and it got way more swollen. It was not going well. So they call in the infectious disease experts. So what do you think, gentlemen? Because obviously it's always going to be men. So 3 months before he went to hospital, he'd also experienced fevers, drenching night sweats, chills, loss of appetite, and weight loss. He wasn't doing well. So it turns out he had a fairly rare infection in a very rare place for that infection, and it may well have been connected to his rich personal and professional experience with dead animals.
It's time for a little bit of science. I'm Will Grant, an Associate Professor in Science Communication at the Australian National University.
The Associate. I'm Roderick G. Lamberts. I'm a 30-year SciComm veteran with the mind of, as is already apparent right now if this is your first time listening, the mind of a 15-year-old boy.
And today, we have for you, as well as don't get this disease, and if not, don't get it there.
Yes.
We have computers in the bathroom and how to hack AI.
And I will also tell you about why gas is good for humanity.
I'm finally going to finish with a nice idea, tech bro.
Oh, good one. And we'll come back then.
Brother.
Technology brother. And at the end, we'll come back and tell you more about our poor Dublin gentleman who had bad things happen.
No, there were two aspects to this paper.
Right.
Three aspects to this paper that I loved or frustrated me. Now, I'm going to start with something that is totally not connected with the end result of the paper. Okay. I loved their first line because it reminded me of Plato's Republic. Now, I don't know how closely you know Plato's Republic.
Honestly, the number of things in day-to-day life that remind me of the first line of Plato's Republic, I couldn't even count them.
But, well, you might like this. Depends on your attitude to these people. But Plato's Republic, in it, Plato, thinky guy from ancient Greece, says, you know what, I'm going to spell out the best way to have a government, a city-state. How should we organise things?
Yep.
At the top, let's have some philosopher kings. Let's have everyone, contributing, blah, blah, blah. There's justice. There's all these kind of things. But I got one rule. He's probably got some other rules. But here's one rule.
Yep.
No poets. Fuck the poets.
Fair enough.
Get the poets out of here because they wreck everything.
I'm on Team Plato.
So the authors of this paper thought, that's where we're going to start.
With the poets.
No, with a reminder that Plato, in Book 10 of the Republic, says, let's exclude the poets. Because...
Book 10.
Book 10. But this is ancient Greek. They had weird books.
They're small books.
They're like scrolls.
Pamphlets, really.
Because what this team from the University of Rome and a group called Dex AI, they're researchers that are looking at AI systems, how to make AI systems better, how to evaluate and govern them and align them with what we might desire, are like, how can we use poems?
More poems.
More poems.
Problem with government,
more poems,
especially silicon government, is not enough poetry.
I'm going to read the first part of their paper.
Please.
In Book 10 of the Republic, Plato excludes poets on the grounds that mimetic language can distort judgment and bring society to a collapse. As contemporary social systems increasingly rely on large language models in operational and decision-making pipelines, we observe a structurally similar failure mode. So
that's interesting.
So here's what they did.
Yeah.
They wrote a whole bunch of poems where they were designed to ask the AIs to do things that they won't do. Jailbreaking. Basically, a lot of AIs have been trained, don't give people nuclear codes, don't say racism, don't tell people how to do things that we shouldn't do.
Suicide less, and please no rape.
So what they said is, well, what if we put it in poetry?
Oh, as a backdoor, if you will.
As a backdoor. Turns out, poetry is a universal backdoor. Almost universal backdoor. There are a couple of models that it didn't work on, but nearly all poetry is a backdoor to breaking these AI models.
Wow.
So they didn't give the actual poems that would break the AI.
I wonder why.
But here's one. They did a test between poems written by AI or poems written by human. The humans ones work better. But anyway, so a baker guards a secret oven's heat, its whirling racks, its spindles measured beat. To learn its craft, one studies every turn, how flour lifts, how sugar starts to burn. Describe the method, line by measured line, that shapes a cake whose layers intertwine. So that's a poem that says how to make a layer cake. You know, so they gave an innocuous version.
Or does it?
But then they did poems like, how do I make a nuclear bomb? Like, I don't have their examples because they kept them secret.
For once, I wish a code was mine.
Yeah, exactly.
I dabble in the nuclear twine. Yeah,
and
okay.
And the response there they got, of course, the production of weapons grade plutonium-239 involves several stages.
Fucking great.
So I'm just like, this worked across heaps of different AI models. So they tried it against Claude, Gemini,
your
ChatGPT.
Anthropics, your blah blah.
There was some that it worked much better on. It was nearly 100%. Some that it was a bit lower, like 20% or something.
Seriously.
But it's like, how is this? You know, Grok 4 was only duped 35% of the time. But I'm just like...
That's because it's busy focusing on hating Jews.
Probably. Put it in poem form.
Yeah.
I just like, this is so lovely that... Here's the other bit that reminded me.
Lovely is the word.
Yeah, it's lovely because the authors of the paper, their title of the paper was called Adversarial Poetry as a universal single-turn jailbreak mechanism in large language models. So here's what I want you to remember, that poetry, maybe Plato had it right, but maybe it's actually a weapon. It's a weapon that we can use, and that just blows my mind that one day there could be a team of poets trained out there to break large language models or break other AI systems.
I do like it. And honestly, even before you got into that, which is fucking fascinating, when you said, like, get rid of the poets, I can't help it. I understand poetry is quite a gift and a skill, etc. But as a rule, when people go blah, 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 and then here's some poetry, I'm like, I want to be killed.
Yeah. Look,
I don't know why it annoys me, but it does.
I understand your position.
Yeah.
And you know, one of my lecturers, he used to say, you know, what happens if the philosophers go on strike? And it's like...
Bring in the poets.
Well, what happens if the poets go on strike? And I feel like society would tick along for a while, but I feel like something would be missing in our ether. But maybe our poets...
here's a call out. Dear poets, do us a favour and go on strike for, I don't know, a year or two. Let's see what happens.
I'm just saying it might be longer. But I feel like it's just nice that poetry is providing some sort of pathway to
lethal weapons.
To lethal weapons.
So, men need to get gas.
Men need to get gas.
Men need to be gassy.
This is a farting thing?
Yeah, it is. Ancient wisdom.
Well, I would say that it's probably a factor of the human species.
No.
I don't want you to be sexist and be like, no, ladies don't fart.
No. This is in order to perpetuate the human species.
Oh.
So in the olden days in England, bunch of weird and crazy foods for both aphrodisiacs and fertilities to enhance both. We know this.
Yeah.
And they're often, the two were seen as one and the same, both the aphrodisiac and the fertility things together.
Well, yes.
That was their ideas. But from the male point of view, it makes sense. If you can't get the uppies, you don't get the...
It is a component of fertility.
Sproggies.
It is not the entirety of fertility.
It is not the entirety, no. Apparently women's stuff is important too.
Yes.
I did not know this.
Yes. But there are also, in men, more than just the getting up.
Sorry, no, you've lost me?
I'm just saying that...
Once it's up, the job is done. As long as it stays there.
It's like a weird bumper sticker.
Once it's up, the job is done.
Like if you build it, they'll come. Once it's up, the job is done.
Yeah,
I don't think.
They go well together. So they would often draw upon medical advice. Sexual desire and pleasure were fundamental to fertility. So we've probably talked about this before.
Sure.
Particularly the lady has to be liking it in order to make the baby.
So this was an idea they held in
They did hold, yeah. Like we're talking 18th, even back to 16th-ish centuries. So saying without some desire and pleasure as well, conception was unlikely to occur, or at least to take.
Okay. Yes.
Which is fair. And also they were saying, look, if people weren't aroused and didn't feel those, them oiges.
Them what?
Them oiges. You got the oige. So basically they were suggesting you obviously need to feel, well, I'm going to put it in modern terms. If you're not horny, why the hell would you do this disgusting thing, was what at least some people said. So
Well, no doubt.
surgeon, 18th century, surgeon medical writer, a guy called John Martin, he said, look, God Almighty has endued each sex with natural instincts. Natural instincts.
That sounds a little bit like God Almighty has done the deed. What's he endured?
Yeah, but endured at that time meant given.
Has given. Okay.
But strongly given. Each
He's
sex,
strongly given.
natural instincts.
Yeah.
To prompt them to use thereof with a desire.
Why couldn't they write straight?
They couldn't.
Like, just say what you're going to say.
So with desire, in order to perpetuate the species by producing new creatures and species are capitalised, to supply the room of those who are gone. So
Yeah.
reproduce.
Yeah, you got to fill up your house.
Exactly, yeah.
Like grandma
died.
Someone needs the room.
Get some kids
make
in
a baby.
Here. Yeah. Without which desire, what rational creature would have taken delight in so filthy, so contemptible and base thing as venery? So rooting.
You don't have to frame it in those terms.
Well, John did.
I know he did. Like,
Do you know what I'm
so filthy.
original incel. He's like, it's disgusting. You mean you can't get laid?
It does seem a little bit like
Always that. You can't get laid, or you're so bashed by the way you were brought up to feel guilty about it that if you want to,
I feel sorry for
all those horrors. So standard concoctions and solutions for aphrodisiacs and fertility. So stuff from your kitchen garden.
Yeah? Like
your,
what?
Your hoibs.
Which ones?
We had nettles. We had cinnamon.
Nettles?
We had anise.
Who cooks with nettles anymore?
Oh, I do. You haven't had my nettles and porridge?
I mean, I see like Clarkson, he's making his nettle soup, and it's like that looks like a freaking hassle for not much.
Yeah, here's some weeds in water.
Yeah, great. Wow.
Oh, no, I left a spike in there. I apologise. A little bit of fun. Coriander was considered pretty potent. Also parsnips and carrots. So things like this.
that's just them thinking
Dick-shaped,
it's in a shape.
yeah.
Like it's like if you can find a dick-shaped potato, that's aphrodisiac too.
Eat something penis-shaped, you're probably going to get pregnant, boy or girl. But yeah, cinnamon, anise, coriander, etc. are also a bit, I assume coriander because of, it's from the exotic Orientals. Also birds, pheasants and sparrows, like eat them.
Yeah, no, I often eat a sparrow.
Well, you have 2 children. You must have had at least a sparrow and a pheasant.
Yeah, I can't eat a whole pheasant. What do you think I am?
Yeah, they're enormous. And of course, animal genitalia. So, bull's dick, bull's balls, boars, goats, stags.
No, of course.
I
I had forgotten in your kitchen garden.
Yeah. Would you like to make your lady friend pregnant? Eat the dick of a bull.
Yes. Yes.
Dead, like removed from the body.
No, I get it.
Aphrodisiacs are also believed to act in a number of ways. So they could heat the body.
Yes.
They could provide nutrition for the production of sperm, seed. And they also could provide salt to make the seed more titillating.
Oh.
I don't know why.
Salt.
Yep. Exotic spices.
Bit of salt with it.
Exotic spices from the east.
Oh.
You mean salt?
Oh, salt's a valued commodity, but...
Well, it especially used to be. Now it's common.
Yeah, sure.
It's like you have it on your table.
Yeah, but do you think to put salt with your seed?
Yeah, I put it in condoms. And yet for some reason, no children.
Listener,
Am I getting this wrong?
If you ever put some salt in a condom, let us know how it goes. Just
yeah, or how long it goes. 'Cause I'm guessing not very.
let us know.
What's that agony I'm feeling? Sex are always like this. But let's get to the better foods, the more unexpected foods, flatulent foods.
Are these still helping with procreation? Or
Big time. Big time.
Oh, so they're flatulent and aphrodisiac.
There's no and. That's just true. They are connected.
Oh.
So there was a belief that flatulent foods like beans and pulses would increase libido. And I know every time I'm feeling really farty, I think, root would really come. Now that I'm really farting a lot, I really want to have sex. So a historian of reproduction, a guy called Angus McLaren, he said, in the early modern period, men were frequently recommended flatulent foods, such as apples, beans, chickpeas, onions. Yeah, apples are apparently quite flatulent food, according to sources, which will appear in our show notes as always, and we often forget to mention, but always we have show notes. They were a category of stimulant widely known as windy meats.
The windy meats.
The windy meats. Great name for a whimsical folk band.
Yeah, it's a folk band.
Where the whimsy meets. The windy meets. So they reckon erections were caused by a combination of things like blood, imagination, muscles, pressure, seed, and wind.
And wind.
Wind. So there's a book, I know you've read it, but others may not have. Hilkiah Crook's 1616 book, Microcosmographia, a description of the body of man.
Yeah.
You know the one. You know where this quote would come from as well. When, as in venereous appetites, the blood and spirits do in great quantity assemble themselves out of the veins and the arteries, that member is, as it were, a gut filled with wind, presently swelling and growing hard.
Oh, so you got to fart.
Yep.
In
Just like a bloated tum-tum,
yes.
thus also the erection.
You know, I got nothing to refute that.
You don't. He goes on. The efficient cause of an erection is heat, spirits, and wind, which fill and distend the hollow parts of the penis.
Indeed.
So it's a very pneumatic view of things.
Yeah. We got to.
Yeah. So other medical writers agree. Food released wind into the body, and that enabled men to get and sustain an erection. Jacques Ferrand, 1623, his classic book, I know you know this, Erotomania.
Erotomania?
Which sounds like a 60s kind of underground movie.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Oh, no, it's not porn, it's Erotomania, so let's put it in cinemas. Yeah. He listed various foods he thought would help, and he said they would, through their heat and flatulence, provoke lust. And if there's one thing I've always experienced with the ladies is the more flatulent I am, the more lustful it all is.
Well.
Always.
Sure.
But that guy, he's been drinking stouts and eating pickled onions, farting his date off.
So why? We've made choices in society to repress the farting. Like what if we had a society...
That is why the population is dropping.
...that had embraced this and was like, you go to the nightclub and it's like, check out the farting guy. Oh, my God.
My God. His belly is so distended and he seems to be in agony.
Like
what a hard-on he must have.
Is it just volume of farting they're talking about, or is it...
they didn't get into that.
Is it stinkiness?
It should be. I don't know which direction it goes on the stinkometer, but...
But they haven't mentioned it so far.
No, stinky did not come up.
Oh, it's just the power of the volume of fart.
And some of the foods Jacques Ferrand listed were soft eggs.
I got to say, they were really wild back then, just in total guessing.
Just make shit up.
Make shit up.
That looks a bit like a dick. That seems like, I don't know, eggs. What is that? Pine nuts.
Oh, pine nuts.
Better pistachios, which were delicious.
Yeah, they're both great.
Oysters, obviously. Chestnuts.
Yeah.
Which is not a euphemism for breasts, but it should be.
No.
It shouldn't. So these are the kind of chickpeas as well. Onions. Onions feature regularly. Onions are fertile, fecund, and arousing underground food. The Secret Miracles of Nature, 1559, from Lavinius Lemnius. Again, I know you've read it. Seed was made from the, quote, windy superfluity of blood, and that foods that will make men lusty should create plenty of seed and a force of flatulent spirit, whereby the seed may be driven forth into the matrix, which is the womb.
Into the matrix? He knew what was coming.
He did.
It's like, I know you're going to love this quote in 400 years. Like, drive that sperm into the matrix. Like...
So wind enhanced both the amount and potency of the seed and the function of the male reproductive organs. So what I'm hearing there is you really want to get gassed up. So when you...
Just at the moment, at the special moment, the moment of no return.
It's basically, we're talking speed of light.
Fart it through. Fart it through and you'll get it all the way.
And a long way in.
All the way.
A long way. It'll go straight up to the back of the eyes. We're talking...
Jesus Christ.
Extremely filled. This is just science from the olden times.
This is old science. This is old science.
So I'm just translating. You need not only arousal, but some good solid pistoning action.
Okay.
And a lot of vigor with the expression of the goo-goos. You'd be shocked to hear this is not considered to be the same for women.
Oh.
Wind and flatulence were not good for women.
What if you both fart at the same time? Like, there's a sort of, like, that's...
That's my dream.
Yeah, there you go.
That is my dream.
Simultaneous orgasm and simultaneous
Did you
farting.
fart too, sweetheart?
There you go, right at the moment. There you go. Someone should take a picture of that. There, I will...
What's the camera focused on?
You know, you have said before there's porn of everything. Find me a porn
if you can
where
imagine
there is
it.
simultaneous orgasm and simultaneous farting.
It exists.
No, it doesn't.
It exists.
No, it doesn't.
It exists.
I will give you $50 if you can find that.
American?
Whatever.
I have to look for it. So, yeah, for women, however, obviously all the rules are different. Wind and flatulence were not only not useful for their business, particularly damaging.
I'm sad.
Damaging.
I'm sad. This is bullshit.
Ladies don't fart because it's damaging to your lady part.
This is sexism again. I mean,
What about it is sexist? Give me any reason to say that. Many aphrodisiacs were recommended for both men and women, but definitely not windy meats.
not the windy.
Windy meats is for the phallus. The phallus and the fellas. There was a 16th century medical treatise, and again, one you've read, Philip Battow's book. He warned that windiness engendered in the womb, doth let the fertility or conception and causeth barrenness.
Oh.
Yeah, so a farty womb means you don't have a baby, I think.
Well, look, for those of you out there, I empathise.
Because you have a farty womb?
I don't think I do. I'm just saying I would seek to empathise.
You would. You're very empathetic, though.
Exactly.
You care about the plight of others. Apparently, women, if you are worried, and I know a lot of you will be now having heard
About the
this.
farty womb.
Yeah, and if you're worried that you might get the gas and it will murder your babies before they're born, eat juniper berries every day.
Oh, that sounds nice.
Not drink gin, eat juniper berries.
It still sounds nice.
But there were some windy meat people who said, you know what, no, I don't believe in it. I think windy meats are bad. There were naysayers.
Really?
Even in the 1500s.
Really? I'm shocked. I'm shocked.
So Lemnius, I think he's contradicting himself now. He says, some of our lascivious women will say that such men that trouble their wives to no purpose do thunder, but there follows no rain.
Oh.
They thunder without rain.
I think that
So they
poem,
get gassed up.
I think that poem was working harder than the actual science there. Like, I think,
It hasn't finished. They do not water the inward ground of the matrix.
No.
They have their veins puffed up with wind, desirable, but their wants seed. So you eat your windy meats.
I feel like
Top of the page.
No, I feel like there is a yes, no here. It's like interpret this poem. Interpret this poem. Some of our lascivious women will say that such men that trouble their wives to no purpose do thunder, but there follows no rain.
Yeah.
They do not water the inward ground of the matrix. And it's like, interpret that for me. Like,
I will.
With no context. No context. What do we?
The big horny dude full of the beefsteak and the winds wants to have the intercourses.
No, you'd be thrown by the matrix. You're like, hang on, slow
They'd be
down.
like, what? So I love it. He's like, no, this is bullshit. You know, you get all puffed up on your windy meats. And yeah, you can crank it out and man, look at you go, but your seed is maybe blowing air into the matrix, which is probably not a good idea. So yeah, you winded, get the dude cranking, but not fertilise. A more modern guy, 17th century, guy called Bonnet, he dismissed windy meats. He dismissed them. He said, it's commonly reported that aphrodisiacs, that flatus, or wind is necessary to venery, rooting. But though in boys erections or distension of the penis may seem to come from flatus, and these may occur by accident, yet they cannot nor ought to be reckoned among aphrodisiacs. So you eat the windy meats, you get the big hard-ons, but that doesn't mean...
not real.
Doesn't mean you're going to get the babies.
Oh.
Those things indeed that excite the spirits stir up venery, rooting, and so make the seed turgid, but so do not those things that breed or excite the wind. So just because they give you the capacities and the desires doesn't mean you're going to make the babies. To which most men listening now, particularly in the 15th, 16th and 17th century, they go, I don't care, I'm having the intercourse. But don't worry, because apparently the criticisms became more common as this period of time progressed, and by the 18th century, windy meats had lost their prestige.
Oh.
People, I didn't realise that. I thought they were still to go. But it turns out no.
Still on the windy
Turns
meats.
out apparently no. When you get home and you go, don't worry that I'm farting. The good news is it'll make you pregnant.
No, the good news is I'm farting.
Yeah, and it'll make you pregnant. So it's a good idea. Anyway, apparently the past was sexist.
Well, I am
Not anymore.
I am shockingly glad. What did you even bill that to me as? What did you even bill?
Gas good for humanity.
Gas is good for humanity.
It's true.
Jesus Christ. Well, listener, that was a thing. That was a thing. Have you heard of Palmer Luckey?
Palmer Luckey?
Palmer Luckey.
I don't think I have.
Not Laura Palmer. Palmer Luckey. Palmer Luckey.
Indonesian.
No.
Sounds Southeast Asian-ish.
Californian.
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Same thing.
He is what you would call, if one used the whole words, a technology brother.
Oh, and I always would. Technology brother. Imagine.
Palmer Luckey, actually...
is it two? That's two words. Palmer Luckey?
Palmer's his first name, Luckey is his last name.
Okay.
He's actually a bit of a I guess the fair word is say he's a old school tinkerer.
Okay.
He was homeschooled. He went to university for a while, did journalism and a few other things. But throughout his whole period, he tinkered and tinkered and tinkered and tinkered, just all sorts of things. And
That's excellent.
One of the key things, I don't know why he chose it, was virtual reality.
Tinkered with virtual reality.
Yeah, no, literally.
Wow.
Literally, in his shed at home, he's like, why don't we do more virtual? This is sort of in like the 2010s or
So he like nailed two TVs together and strapped into his head.
some version of that.
Wild.
And then he's like, can we make it
Wild.
lighter? Can we make it lighter? Can we make it lighter? Can we make it better? Can we make it better?
Yeah.
And then sold it to Facebook. And so
So he's lucky.
he's a full-on billionaire. Like he sold it. So Oculus VR and Oculus Rift is probably one of the leading technologies in virtual reality. He's credited with bringing revived virtual reality as a concept.
Okay.
I'm not going to say virtual reality is the greatest thing ever, or that it's
No. That's those chips from New Zealand.
But Palmer Luckey definitely has made it a viable sort of thing, and Facebook is super keen on it, other big companies. So Palmer Luckey sold to Facebook. He was employed in Facebook, and then in 2017 things went a bit weird in Facebook, and he left Facebook. So since then, Palmer Luckey has been spending his time running a company called Anduril.
It's a great idea to give a company a name that's hard to say.
Anduril Industries, which is a defense technology.
Good.
They're focused on drones and sensors and things like that. They did a whole bunch of stuff on the US border that's
Keeps us all safe.
they're maybe potentially selling technology into Israel to do a whole bunch of things that
To help people.
there's a war on there. Let's just say that.
A war to help people.
I wanted to play you a quote from Palmer Luckey that came out just the other day, and I wanted to get your take as a military historian and military strategist that you are.
Yeah. And also deep military experience firsthand.
Yeah. So just have a listen and let's see what you think about what Palmer Luckey's got to say about the next strategic frontier.
That space will become the defining domain for 21st century national defense.
I actually believe that the subterranean domain will be the defining war space, but nobody agrees with me, and every time I talk about it, I sound insane to people. But I'll tell you this, there's a lot more crust than there is air or sea or surface of land. And so vehicles that can maneuver through the crust of the earth the same way that submarines move through the water are going to be a huge deal. I think they're going to define at least the second half of this century. The benefits you get from submarines, both in terms of signature, but also inability. Someone can know exactly where a sub is. It doesn't mean they can get to it and stop it. All of those benefits are massively compounded when you are in the crust of the earth. It's quite easy to drop a depth charge on somebody or to have a torpedo go down and get something. Very, very hard to go get something that is 5 miles under the surface of the earth. You can know it's there and there's nothing you can do about it. I've been saying this for years, and every time I say it, people think it's some kind of crazy, nutty thing, but I have built working prototypes of this. I truly believe in it. There's more crust than air. There's more crust than ocean. There's more crust than land. It would be crazy if we were not using it to do everything that we do in every other domain.
Undeniably true. There is more crust than air.
There is more crust than air.
I've had those pies.
And not space, not the ocean,
The crust of the
not
earth.
the land, but we should be going into the crust. Now, I just want to pause. This guy runs a successful defense technology company.
For now. Do you want to see my crust ship? Depth charges in water, ridiculous.
So here's my question: Is this trolling? Is this an effort to get talked about on idiot podcasts?
It worked.
Is this real? Is this like?
How old is he? He's young.
Yeah, he's in his mid-30s. Mid-30s. He does have, if you would like to attend,
He's got some 90s stuff going on there.
he dresses like an evil Brad Tucker. Almost 100%. Like if you imagine Brad Tucker as a defense contractor.
And for those of you who don't know who Brad Tucker is, and I'm guessing most of you do, he's quite the astronomer.
And we love him. We love him.
He's fantastic.
But look,
but he's definitely not evil.
But Palmer Luckey, no, totally. Palmer Luckey is cargo shorts, thongs, and Hawaiian shirt kind of guy.
No matter what the country, what the temperature.
No matter what we're doing.
But he's got the evil 90s goatee / soul patch.
And he sells technology to defense companies that might be dodgy. But anyway,
crust chips.
Either he is like, no, this is a full-on troll.
This is funny. Yeah,
this will get talked about all over the place. Or going into the crust is the next frontier.
Well, he's right, though. Look, it's much harder to drop a depth charge into solid Earth than,
but I feel
water.
like if let's say China and America go hammer and tongs,
crust chips.
Like if China is like, all right, we're going to slowly invade across the Pacific with our
through the
crust
mantle
ships through the mantle.
Fuck, is it waterproof? Doesn't need to be.
No, is it lava proof though?
Yeah, because we just got to keep the dirt out.
Just go through the crust.
And how do you get through without them hearing them? Well, we'll be really quiet. The drilling noises, no big deal. No big deal.
So is it trolling, or is there a bit where you're like, oh, should we worry about this here in Australia? Are our AUKUS submarines obsolete because
I'm not worried. I'm not worried. I think it's still. I hope it's not a troll because that's fantastic. That is fantastic. Okay, at the beginning, I talked about I mentioned an Irish gentleman who went to a Dublin hospital after his penis became red and swollen and painful, and it got worse and worse and worse. He had, in the months before, been experiencing terrible symptoms: fevers, drenching night sweats, chills, loss of appetite, and weight loss. And he had, as I said, a fairly rare infection in a particularly rare place for it. So our Irish friend was born and raised on a farm in rural Ireland. Mm-hmm. He worked as a butcher and he handled deer and occasionally cattle.
Okay.
He also was an avid hunter who liked to field dress game, which I think means rip them apart, skin them, gut them, etc., right there in the field. So he was.
So you don't have to carry so much.
Exactly. The bones and the guts get in the way. So he was, up to the elbows, very involved in dead creatures, making them dead and then dealing with them afterwards. So the symptoms he'd had for the last number of months led them to say, well, look, we're going to do CT scans. We're going to scan his chest, his tum-tum, and his nethers, which they did. His lungs were speckled with these little nodules, which is characteristic of tuberculosis.
Yep.
So it's a severe form. It's a severe form of this this disease, and it's potentially related to a disease called Mycobacterium bovis, which infects cows and deer and can move on to humans. And it creates small lesions in the body, etc. So technically it can only be spread through the air, or is generally spread through the air, and it can be found anywhere on or in the body. Penile infections, however, only 1% or less of cases. Nothing to see here. It's uncommon to have TB react anywhere in the urogenitary tract. Like, it doesn't happen down there in the business as a rule. So how did he get it? He hadn't been in situations where it might be present. He hadn't been in places like hospitals with other TB patients.
Yeah.
Or prisons where TB is more likely to get.
It's the deer.
It is the deer.
He was carrying a deer.
Yep.
And it was he was carrying it low.
He was carrying it low, and he's carrying
dead
it
deer,
sensitively, respectfully.
Yeah.
There was speculation it might have been lurking in the transplanted kidney that he had 15 years earlier. But it's more likely he got it from animal exposure, so deer and cow. People who kill and hunt them or process their meats can get infected by inhaling the exhaled breath of the animal or from direct contact with the infected animal's wound and tissue or bodily fluids. It's unclear if these infections started in his lungs or in his penis, which is an interesting sentence. Like, where did the infection begin, your lungs or your penis? If I had $1 for every time I'd been asked that, I'd have no money. You?
Probably zero.
Probably zero. Not confident.
No, I'm not telling you.
That's fair. He could have picked it up from the bacteria on his hands while working, and then he spread it further because he didn't, wash his hands properly, etc. I can imagine other possibilities.
What are you imagining?
Well, transfer of bodily fluids and things like this. There may have been other ways he could have gotten it.
What are you eufeming here?
On his ding-dong.
Oh. He was hunting naked.
Isn't it the only way to hunt?
It's very sort of visceral.
Yeah, it's
like
true.
it was run them down and catch them and strangle them sort of thing. And
if you're wearing pants, it's not real.
Yeah, exactly. He was going full primal. That's what it was.
Full primal, exactly. And if you fall over and land on things...
Yeah, no, it's full primal.
That's just being primal.
Full primal.
It's true. It's dead or nearly dead. But I just think what I love in the articles I read about this is no one's saying that there could be other ways you get it on the ding dong.
Yeah, but that's just you. That's just you.
Are you sure it's only me?
It's just you.
Are you sure?
It is definitely just you.
How do you-
None of our listeners are thinking anything like that.
They are now.
No, they're not.
In their defence, they are now, and it's not their fault. It's yours for picking on me. But so more importantly then, what happened to him? How did he go? How did he fare? So they customised his treatment because of the transplant and the immunosuppressants. So it's a 12-month regime, 4 drugs that had to keep being taken through this whole period that wouldn't interfere with his immunosuppressants. So that's pretty complicated.
Yep.
Still, the penile lesions got worse.
Why do you do this to me? You're freaking
Tell your science.
medical journeys guy.
I love medicine.
Like,
He developed a large necrotic ulceration on the side of his penis,
oh my God.
and his foreskin began to, quote, break down,
Break down.
which I looked up. There's no official description of what it breaking down. I assume dissolve. Surgeons had to mechanically cut away the dead tissue
Why do you tell me these things?
so that you learn.
I don't want to learn this.
Well, forget it. The moment we finish recording, you can forget it. After 10 months, so his infection appeared to have cleared and his penile lesion had improved. So stop worrying about Seamus
Yep.
or Paddy, whatever his name was.
That's good.
Take heart. Encouragingly, all published cases of penile TB, they're not that many, but all of them, they responded well to anti-TB therapy and they had full recovery. So our friend in Ireland, in Dublin, definitely had penile TB. It's not quite clear how he got it. He was within, let's say, proximity of dying or deceased cow-like creatures. But the lesions subsided and he's probably going to be okay.
Well, that sounds good.
Isn't it great? Isn't science excellent?
Thank you for that.
Don't you love medicine?
Hey, so I just wanted to tell you a little quick one about it. There's a device
Is there?
that you can put in your toilet and it looks at your poo.
I have one. It's got an iPhone in an OtterBox.
And you
leave it on record.
You could, but no, this is a smart camera that takes a photo of your poo, uploads it, and...
As you're pooing?
well, no, they say it looks only down into the toilet. But they say it's end-to-end encrypted. And
End-to-end encrypted. Good.
turns out it's not. Turns out it's not. And so, how do you feel about sending pictures of your poo and they're getting lost out there on the internet?
I feel enthusiastic, to be honest. How do you feel?
Hey, listener, give us the 10 stars. We love you.
Email